Okay, what's frost? This little Chardonnay, it's got little bits of frost twice. It's beside the ducks and the chickens. But it seems to be growing all right. However, if you look here, a little bit of frost damage, and this leaflet here, frost damage, you can tell because it's crisp. It's all crisp and dead. These side shoots here are dead. Dead. But I was lucky because the main shoots, for some reason or other, didn't get frosted out. So this was right on the edge of being a disastrous frost, but not fully. But the plant would have been further along if it hadn't. Funnily enough, there's 6 along here, and they all got a touch of the frost. But my 30-odd Chardonnay in that group down there did not. Don't know why. Further down, you'd think they'd get more frost. Don't know why. Frost is a mysterious thing. Joey, come. Good boy. Okay, I've got my 2% urea solution here, about 10 litres, another 18 litres in there, and I'm filtering it through. There's a funnel in there. It's got a lot of crap in it. So I'm off now to spray the vines. It's 3:30. It's a little bit late to this action to start. However, it is what it is. And what is urea? Urea is these prills of urea. Big bag. A lot of it's gone hard here. Let's just join, but you can break it up. As a complication, this is just the day before the frost, I did a little bit of research online, which was very difficult to find anything out about this whole urea complex. But it said you had to use a low biuret urea. Well, that really confused me. Took quite a bit of researching, and low biuret is a dimer of urea, where you've got 2 molecules of urea that form together, and apparently that is toxic to plants. So your urea has to be low biuret content urea. Well, that really put me into a tither, and I just decided to ignore all that because I had no time left. So I used the urea bag that I had, burette or no burette. This is a more modern fertilizer called Yarra Miller from Norway, and these are prills of various artificial things, but they're basically on prills of urea which have absorbed other nutrients onto them and organized at a certain release rate. Inquired at a local horticultural firm about frost protection chemicals, and they said all the commercial people use a solution of urea and spray it on the plants the day before the night of the frost. And apparently it reduces the frosting point on the surface of the plant by 2 degrees centigrade, or approximately. Now, I don't know whether this is true or not, but apparently everybody does it, and you only need a 0.5% solution. I actually used a couple of percent solution. It dissolves very readily in water, and it's supposed to activate the movement of liquids within leaves and stops sort of like an antifreeze in your radiator system. Because it's all moving around, it doesn't freeze. That's the logic. So for borderline frosts, apparently it helps. As an aside, urea was the first chemical synthesized in about 1860 using synthetic materials like oil or gas, and could be used as a fertilizer for natural systems. Before that point, everybody thought that things for nature had to come from nature. Maybe that's a good idea, actually. But however, urea was the first one that could be very readily absorbed by plants and promote green growth. Its formula is NH2, C double bond O, NH2. Yeah, and look at that. It's I've only been out for half an hour. It's dropped from 19 to 16 degrees C. And that wind is pretty cold. There's still a wind. And it's unlikely to get frosts in a wind like that. The trees over there are blowing around very strongly. But that could all drop in no time at all. Certainly it's getting fresher and fresher. Forecast to go to 3. But 3 at our place could be 1 or -1 and a frost. We'll see. %2 urea. I'm going to grape. This is a Pinot grape. Big variety in my grapes. These are about 3 years old. Big one, stupid one. Stupid ones down here and some okay ones. I'm not going to spray row 8 as a control. We'll see what happens. It's 4:20 p.m. Still 16 degrees. It's calming down. Might have gone up a bit, 16 and a half, I'm not sure. But I finished the spraying, so we'll see. This is my frost fighting wagon. I put oil from my machines over the years in there. I was going to take it to the recycling place when it was full, but now I've got another use for it, because I'm going to fight against frost with smudge pots. Little one, medium and big. And a smudge pot burns oil, puts out a sooty smoke which interferes with the frost. And this one here, I've got kerosene to make the oil burn. I've got a lighter to light up the oil kerosene mix. And I've got a lighter to make the burner go. So this one's got oil and kerosene in it, as you might be able to see. And this one I would put about that much oil in the bottom, stir in some kerosene, leave the stick there like a bit of a wick, and then light it up. If you need to, you can put it out just by putting a rag over the top. I've also got here, this blue bucket is broken, and all these bags of rubbish have got a whole lot of plastic in it. You might say burning plastic is not very environmental, and that's why the use of smudge pots really went out, because of the soot produced. But it's very effective, and plastic will put out large columns of sooty smoke, which will rise up on the heat. Frosts come down usually around 4 or even later in the morning. I don't know why, but that's what they do. So I'm going to set the alarm, get up, check the temperature, have a look and see what's going on. I can drag the trolley over there with all the equipment and the burnables and start them burning. Now I severely doubt that I've got enough to make a difference here, but it's all I've got. So like a lot of things, you do what you can do, and maybe it'll make a difference. Because it's going to be a marginal sort of frost, if there is a frost. And we also, according to the weather forecast, run the risk the following night So we'll have to do it 2 nights in a row, 2 mornings in a row. So we'll just see. But I'm ready. I got everything. I just can trundle this over to the vineyard and set them up if we think it's if we think it's going to be dodgy, because you can do it anyway, whether there's a frost or not. There's some phrase about being prepared. If you don't prepare, then prepare to fail. So I'm doing what I can. These pots here, the 3 of them are metal, obviously, because we're going to have a fire going in them. So they're the only 3 metal pots I've got, actually. So good luck, metal pots. Okay, it's about 5 o'clock in the morning. The thermometer out in the vineyard shows 1 degree C. There's a massive amount of condensation on the ground. So I'm burning a few things, and my 3 smudge pots are burning away quite nicely. Don't know what difference they're making whatsoever, but they're burning. It's a beautiful morning, clear as a bell. Lots of good soot coming off. There was 1 before. Now it's dropping below 0. Jesus, I'm going to have a frost. I can feel it getting colder around me too. 5 o'clock now. It's 20 to 6. Sunrise. I think it's the 28th of October. The smudge pots are burning pretty well. Actually, I just topped them up with a bit more oil and kerosene. Again, don't know if they're actually doing anything. My little fire of this bush doing something too. The smoke is good, but it's going over that away, whereas it should be going over there away. Pretty happy to see the sun coming up. I'm hoping we've dodged a bullet. My feet are freezing. And we're in the second month of spring, the late part of the second month of spring. It's crazy. I've been up since 2, but as usual, the worst frost, you can see it happening at around 6. The worst before the dawn. It's the next morning. Yesterday was good, we got through it. Today is predicted frost, but it doesn't look too bad, so I don't know. The thermometer's here saying about -1.5 degrees C. Sunrise is an hour away, and sunlight here hour and a half, 2 hours away. Direct sunlight on here. It's quite pretty doing this. It's bloody cold though. This morning we've got this old fireplace in the vineyard. It's rusted right out. But I'm burning wood in it. And it's putting out a lot of smoke, which is good. burning through a lot of wood, but I have got a lot of wood, so it'll help. Wow, sun's virtually over the horizon, not the horizon, those hills there on the second day. And I've run out of oil, so this is it. I can keep the fire going for a bit longer. My feet are frozen again. Maybe it's all right. The thermometer says -2, but I don't know. I don't know how frost forms. It's -2, it should be frost. Maybe there's not enough dew to freeze. Maybe that's it. Or a frost hasn't fallen out of the sky. Don't know. I did what I could. So tomorrow is forecast to be a low of 11, which is way better than 1 or -2. So maybe that's it for this part of the season. I'm going with yes, for sure it is. 6:45 now. I think the temperature's gone up a degree. Joey thinks so. Joey. He's having fun. I don't know. We'll see.